Good evening and welcome to World in Focus. Today we take you from political upheaval in South Korea and mass protests in Delhi to a leadership shake-up at the BBC before diving into a growing global tension that's happening far above our heads in space. Let's begin with the top headlines of the day. South Korea has entered uncharted territory. A special prosecutor has indicted former President Yoon on charges related to an alleged attempt to impose martial law. Investigators claim Yoon abused power by trying to trigger a military confrontation with North Korea. Evidence reportedly includes messages discovered on a military official's phone that reference strategic terms linked to provocation. The indictment marks one of the most dramatic political scandals in the country's recent history and adds to ongoing debate over civil oversight of military power in South Korea. In New Delhi, India, public frustration has spilled onto the streets. Hundreds of residents marched to protest worsening air pollution. Children, families and activists demanded immediate action as air quality levels hit the severe zone. Police briefly detained dozens of demonstrators near India Gate, saying they did not have permission to assemble at the landmark location. While pollution spikes every winter, this is the largest public mobilization on the issue seen in months, signaling that patience is running thin.
उठा के डिटेन करने ले जा रहे हैं। आराम से करिए मैडम बोलो
In the UK, leadership battle is unfolding at the BBC. Two of the broadcaster's most senior executives, Director General Tim Davie and News Chief Deborah Turnus, have resigned after internal backlash over the editing of a documentary about US President Donald Trump. A leaked memo revealed that a speech from Trump was edited in a way that critics say altered its context. The fallout has now intensified questions about journalistic standards, impartiality and transparency at one of the world's most influential news organizations. For our deep dive, we turn to a growing conflict that isn't happening on land, sea or air, but in space. European governments are sounding the alarm. Russia and increasingly China are being accused of maneuvering satellites in orbit to get dangerously close to those operated by Western governments and commercial providers. Both Germany and the UK say their satellites have been shadowed, jammed or interfered with. German officials described Russian satellites tracking two commercial Intelsat systems used by their armed forces and allies. Analysts believe those satellites were attempting to intercept signals, in simple terms, to spy. The UK Space Command has reported weekly jamming attempts targeting British assets. Officials warn these satellites carry advanced payloads capable of observing other spacecraft at close range. Russia has invested heavily in electronic warfare since the invasion of Ukraine, strengthening its ability to disrupt navigation systems and communications from the ground. So why does this matter? Satellites control far more than military operations. They enable the GPS in our phones, internet access in remote regions, aviation navigation, and even the timing signals that global finance relies on. Disrupting satellites could cripple communications and data flow on Earth. Europe is now racing to catch up. Germany plans to invest up to 35 billion euros in space programs over the next 5 years and is developing new defense systems. The UK is testing technology that detects laser threats in space. France is working on bodyguard satellites, spacecraft designed to protect other satellites by blocking or disabling threats. The United States still leads in resources and defense capabilities in space, but European nations warn that the pace of Russian and Chinese advances requires urgent coordination. For the first time, NATO has formally declared space an operational domain, meaning an attack on a member nation satellite could, in theory, trigger Article 5. As one analyst put it, space has become the new high ground in global security, and whoever controls that high ground controls not just war, but communication and information on Earth, the CNN reported. So that's all in World in Focus for today. Follow the Finance 360 for more.